The NFL is on EA Sports as we bring you a look inside Highmark Stadium here at Orchard Park, New York. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. When you look at this defense, they currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
They'll try and throw for it here. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. A first down carry for Davis. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second and 5. Now a first carry for the brother of Dalvin. It's James Cook, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. On the ground, here's the rookie from Ole Miss. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bills will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And the Bills are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Moore. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Ward. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it, and the Bills are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have... And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Devin Duvernay. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And good coverage defensively. They wouldn't let him get ahead of steam going, and he'll be brought down at the 15. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Well, this defense for the Bills, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
Now the first carry here for the running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Now they'll audible to something else.
To throw is Ward. To throw on second down. And he's got his big tight end here. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 31-yard line. The catch and run good for 24 yards. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory. Down at the 31. Back to throw. Ward. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
From the 22 now, here's second down at a yard.
Off play action. Ward. He'll buy some time right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On to the second quarter. Memphis in possession of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Another try for Barkley. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
3 tight ends up front here. 3rd and goal.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Ward now throwing on 4th down. And it's caught. Touchdown. Mike Gesicki, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Egyptians' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Aubrey good with a PAT. And that'll make our score 14-7.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Allen going to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Stump. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Third and 9 here.
Now Allen. The ball popped in the air and intercepted.
It's Bubba Bolden who picks it. Inside the 20.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski, okay? Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. There he goes, left side. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set. Fit defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Second and 7.
Handoff, running left is Davis. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Operating from the red zone now. Allen. He finds his man. Complete. That's Stump.
It's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Second and 3 from the 9.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. To throw, it's Allen. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
They'll try and run for it. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there.
His second rushing touchdown on the year.
And the Bills have taken the lead.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead is now 21-14.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, looking back to that first quarter, they struggled, but now here in quarter two, they seem to have some rhythm.
And it really shouldn't be a surprise to us because when we were in the production meetings, we asked a few of the players about, hey, what if things get a little rocky early? They all said the exact same thing. We're prepared, so we're confident things will work out. And so far, they have started to do so.
Those three words we hear a lot, stay the course. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a throw here, hauled in. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw. Ward. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
That's taken on the 25. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. Flushed out right. And complete right side to Cook. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. Throwing middle, and it's complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Devin Duvernay.
As the first half is winding down. And the Bills will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now up to 14.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway.
And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Allen. He finds his man, complete. That's Stump. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
We can see offensive pass interference called on this play from time to time. The tight end's going to sell that he's going outside. Let the slot receiver come past, and then work himself back to the inside. Sure enough, he's left with some open space, and he picks up the first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Again, it's Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Allen's throw is complete. So the completion good for just 3. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
On play action, Allen. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that one, that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalties.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. He finds his man, complete. It's Hoffman. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Mike 35, Mike 35. Record. 35 is the mic. Check. Mike 35, Mike.
Here's Allen to throw it.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Bills are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Cook is in. Touchdown, Bills.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go now. Back to 60. Back to 60.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
26 Mike. 26 Mike. Don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning.
Now Ward looking to throw on second down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of him.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed.